I'm Tony Gresty. I own a company called Westbrook Industrial. We provide 3 niche market solutions to distribution, labelling and ID systems, safety netting and line marking safety. I was introduced to CARA through a contact back in the early 2000s when we were growing. We needed somebody to help us go from the server being a computer under my desk into proper distribution of information to a growing team that probably at that time had maybe 8 or 9 people in it, and we've used them up to our peak of staff around the 38-40 people mark. About 2 years ago we became aware that unscrupulous people were able to send an email that looked like it came from a member of staff internally, and people were more likely to respond to that, and that would open up a threat to us that we were probably more difficult to contain. And following speaking to CARA, we concluded that we would be hit with an attack. It was inevitable we'd be hit with an attack rather than, would we stop it or would we be hit with an attack? And when you look at it from an inevitability point of view, you're into how you minimise your risk, not whether you're going to be exposed to risk or not. When we investigated our current backup and recovery system, we worked on if we were hit 8 hours after the last backup, we would lose 8 hours of information and people would not remember what they'd done in that 8-hour period. But CARA also informed us that whatever the length of time was from the last backup to being hit would take them at least that long again to recover. We reckoned our exposure was up to 2 days. A company that turns over in the region of £300,000 a month, which we do, 22 business days in a month. We get that back down to a daily capacity for production. But when you think that the daily capacity would be 2 days, so I've lost 2 days of production, we run around the £30,000 per day mark, so there's some exposure there. But also if I've lost the sales effort for a day or 2 days, I've also then not got the capacity that those orders would have brought in, so it magnifies up. So we estimated between 1 and 2 days of potential exposure, possibly in the region of £75,000 worth of lost revenue. Andy came in, put a proposal to the board, discussed it with the board personally in a half-an-hour session as to what we could do, how we would set up a second server, or the new software that was available to defend you if you were attacked from encryption predominantly. And we unanimously spent a relatively small amount of money putting that system in. And then 4 weeks later, a member of staff inadvertently opened an attacking encryption email and we were hit. Took us an hour to realise, so at 2 o'clock in the afternoon we were hit. We didn't realise till 3 o'clock when we did realise. Everybody was removed from the server was shut down. CARA remotely accessed the server and everybody was back on email by 4 o'clock. So we had a 2-hour hit, and within that period people were able to remember what they did in that hour, and we were able to list what we needed to catch back up again. Anything that was saved on the server that would have been lost during that time. Fundamental business impact that day, other than the infected machine had to be flattened, so we lost one machine, so there was some impact there, but fundamental impact on the business was almost nothing. I've recommended CARA to many people. I know that a couple of them do use CARA. Yeah, I have no issue with CARA. Technically they're very good. They're a Microsoft Gold partner. They keep themselves up to date with technological changes, and with the relatively recent introduction of their ability to take control of computers and servers remotely. I hardly ever see them, but I know them all because they're frequently tinkering around and making sure everything's okay for us.